I attended my very first Iowa caucus with this man, Representative Steve King. He is the congressman from the 4th District, and you are a very busy man today, Representative King. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me on this morning, Larry and Brian.
So you're supporting Ted Cruz. You've been out in front on that. What do you think is the number one issue for Iowans tonight as they go to caucus, and why does Ted Cruz accommodate that issue?
Okay, well, I'll tell you what I hope they're thinking about, and I'm not certain it's the number one issue, but it should be, and that is the judicial appointments that will come before the next president of the United States. There's 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 appointments that would come before the next president, and we've watched as this Supreme Court has been hanging on the precipice of completely destroying our Constitution as we know it, and I don't have any doubt that of the whole list of people there, the very best appointments of constitutional originalists who believe that the Constitution means what it says and it has to mean what it was understood to mean at its time of ratification. That is Ted Cruz. He knows the Article 3. He's argued before the Supreme Court. He knows the farm team out there, and he'll do the research so that we don't end up with somebody that emerges as an activist on the court. I think that's the most important thing because the destiny of this country is going to be tied to our Constitution, and it's morphed so far. So that's what I think is the most important.
All right, so the Des Moines Register poll, which is widely respected here, came out this weekend, and it showed a 5-point lead for Trump over Cruz. There's a Quinnipiac poll that just came out a short time ago. I think it's a 7-point lead for Trump over Cruz. But we know that in Iowa, a lot of people wait to the last minute. What is your greatest hope here?
Well, of course, my greatest hope is that there be a resounding victory for Ted Cruz so that he gets a springboard and he gets launched to New Hampshire and creates the momentum there that could bring about a happy result in New Hampshire and then carry that on to South Carolina. But I'll just go back to the realistic, objective projection that I would make is that I think that our turnout is going to be greater than it's ever been before, but I don't think it's going to be great enough to bring Donald Trump into a victory. He's got to have a huge turnout, and the lower that turnout is, the more likely it is that Ted Cruz will win here tonight. But I think what it's going to be is a photo finish with Cruz on top and Trump finishing a close second, and I think Marco Rubio a distant third. But the reasons for that are that yes, Trump has a lead as far as the polls are concerned. We know that a lot of people will say they're going to caucus that don't show up. That's one thing, but Cruz's supporters among those that are historically caucus goers, and so they've demonstrated that they will come out. Trump's got to bring new people there and get them to come out. That's a lot harder. Second part of it is there are a lot of undecideds going into the debate on Thursday night. The number I saw was 39% undecided. And so that can break probably either way. But another piece of this is the polling I'm seeing shows that Trump has the lowest number of the second choice in the polling. So he's down to something like only 6% would vote for Trump if they came off of somebody else. Cruz's number is the highest of all of that. So I think that if things break and break late and the undecideds have to break somewhere, the odds are that they'll go in Cruz's favor substantially more than they will in Trump's.
Our guest is Representative Steve King from Iowa, Cruz supporter. And I got to add, we only have a minute left, but when you think Representative Steve King, you think immigration, and you think enforcing illegal immigration and building a wall and all of the things that Donald Trump's been talking about. Has he sort of stolen your thunder there in the Hawkeye State?
Oh, I think he's embellished the argument that I've made for probably the last 15 years. So I'm happy that Donald Trump cut a wide swath on the immigration issue. And, I built a wall on the floor of Congress to demonstrate how easy that actually is. And I'm happy with all of that. But the part I'm not happy with Trump is when he advocates that he would build a wall, then he'd deport everybody, and then he'd bring them all back. I'm not for the amnesty portion of that. I'm for the rest of it. And so that's one of the reasons I'm with Ted Cruz. But because Ted Cruz he's against legalization. He's always been against legalization. He's never going to be for legalization. Not so true with Trump, and it's certainly not true with Marco Rubio either. But the right thing is to restore the respect for the rule of law. That's always been my central argument on immigration. We have to have that, or we're no country at all eventually. We become the third world.
All right. Representative Steve King, we've got to leave it there. You've got a busy day ahead of you. We appreciate you carving out some time this morning for us.
Thanks, Congressman.
Very glad to do it. Thanks a lot, Larry and Brian.